Hi there, folks. How are you today?
Glendora, I have to talk fast first, and then we'll let you talk better. Glendora left several messages on my voicemail, and they always began with, Brian, you talk too fast, and they ended with a laugh like that.
So, I asked Brian if I had to give a speech, and he said yes, and I said, how long? And he said 5 minutes, and I'm saving the last 2 minutes for the applause. Now, it was the first day of classes. Can you hear okay, everybody?
Yes. Come this way
And
so
the,
people can see you on this side.
Professor swaggered into the classroom, and he said, if there's any dumbbells in this classroom, I want you to stand up immediately. Well, of course, a long time went by. Finally, a lone freshman stood up in the back room, and the professor bellowed, are you a dumbbell? And the little freshman says, well, no, sir, but I felt sorry for you standing up there all by yourself. Now, a college president, not our college president, was relieved of his duties by the Board of Trustees. And in his final speech to the board, he said, I depart from this position exactly as I entered it, fired with enthusiasm. Daddy, what is college bread? A 4-year loaf made from the old man's dough. The medical college had its own cheer at the football team. Hypodermic, hypodermic. What does that mean? Stick it to them.
Ignition.
What is it, teacher?
Ignition.
No, there's one before that.
You got home. Did you get swagger?
Yeah. A college professor said, for every student who has a spark of genius, there's 10 others with ignition problems. And a newspaper reporter was interviewing college college professors, and he said to one professor, what are the 3 things you like best about being a professor? And he said, shaping the next generation, making good Americans, and making responsible citizens. And the reporter said to the next professor, what do you like best, 3 things about being a professor? And he said, June, July, and August. What comes next, Sandy?
Transcript.
Oh, what does a college transcript teach a parent? You don't have to lift weights to raise a dumbbell. A young man at commencement said to his mom and dad, here's the diploma you wanted me to get from medical school. And now, as I've been telling you since I'm 5 years old, I'm going out and be a fireman. And next, Sandy.
I don't have an old college.
What, dear?
Old college?
Oh, yeah. Old college presidents, do they fade away, folks? Do they die? No. They just lose their faculties.
Anyone want to talk about Lucent and Treats and Beacon? Did you want to talk about those things?
Yes, but there's another joke before that.
Can't read this one. I don't know.
I want to tell you, this is serious, folks. I wanted to tell you about, I have a whole collection of these jokes, and I would like to see them in Lucent to cheer us up. By a show of hands, anybody agree? Vice President Robert Cole, please take note. Oh, yeah. In my 90 years, folks, I have learned that the only thing this is really serious. The only thing that really matters is how you treated others. And the third serious thing is treating others includes animals. How did you treat animals? And I really will go so far as to say that you cannot have that peace with God that passes all understanding unless you are vegan. No animal products. Back to the jokes. Oh, a professor said in the old days it was great. The kids used to bring you apples, now they drive you bananas.
Marsh?
Oh, my husband, when he was graduated from Boston University, President Marsh said to he says, will the audience please remain seated while the dignitaries on the stage pass out? Let's see what more.
Hall of Fame.
Okay, what's the next one?
Speed?
What, dear?
Speed.
Oh, professor, to a student. What do you know about the speed of light? He said, nothing, sir. It just gets here too early in the morning.
Academic.
And the speed of light, you know, is less than it's less speed than Vice President Shaughnessy can talk. Folks, do you know how G.C. Merriam, right here published in Springfield on Federal Street, George and Charles Merriam, do you know how they defined academic? Not expected to produce a practical result. Okay, Sandy?
PhD.
You all know what BA stands, right? Bachelor of Arts. You all know what BS stands for? You all know what MBA stands for? Master of Business Administration. More accurately stated, more bad advice. And do you all know what PhD stands for? Piled higher and deeper.
Difficult.
A student asked a professor, is it difficult to become a professor? And he says, no, you do it by degrees. Next. Oh, the college president went before the faculty and said our student body suffers from 7 dwarf syndrome. 7 dwarf syndrome, what is that? Every 7th student is dopey. And every 5th one is what?
Sleepy.
Yeah. Oh, okay, everybody. Where did King Arthur go to school? Night school. And why was the professor mad at the owl?
Why was it?
He didn't give a hoot. And why did the prince ask his daddy to go to school with him? To go to kindergarten with him? Because the teacher said, bring a ruler to school. And Sandy, where are we now?
Harvard.
Oh yes, you can always tell a Harvard man, Vince, but you can't tell him much.
Golf.
And oh yeah, and the professor was out on the golf course and he says, Caddy, why do you keep looking at your watch? And the caddy says, well, no, sir, this is a compass.
7 by 5.
Yes, the college coach said to the college professor, you have to pass our star player, we're going to lose the championship without him. And the professor said, well, he said that 7 times 5 is 33. And the coach says, so he missed it by 1.
Fireman.
Yep.
No, you did that one. N plus 1.
Well, how does a mathematics professor discipline his children? If I told you not to do that n times, this is the n plus 1 time. And the college president was showing a group of businessmen around the campus, and one of the businessmen said, "How many students do you have here?" And he says, "About 62%. Now, a little boy, the teacher said, "Johnny, I think you cheated on the test. I think you copied the answers of the girl sitting across the aisle." The first question was, who was first president of the United States? She wrote Washington, and you wrote Washington. The second question was, who was president during the Civil War? She wrote Lincoln, and you wrote Lincoln. The third question was, who was president during the Louisiana Purchase? She wrote, I don't know, and you wrote, me neither.
All right, let's give Glendora 2 minutes of applause. So if you couldn't tell, Glendora's had quite a career in broadcast television. She's also been on the David Letterman show, so that comes from her, her display of many jokes and things like that. But prior to all that, she was a member of the class of 1950, and that's when she graduated with her degree in psychology and English. She later pursued graduate studies in physics at State University of Buffalo, New York. At AIC, she was part of the psychology club. She was their secretary, part of the student association, was part of Interfaith Council, and also participated in radio workshops, which I think probably led to some of her enjoyment of broadcasting over the years. Quite significantly, Chat with Glendora has been a syndicated public access cable television show since 1972 with over 20,000 episodes. You can Google Glendora and find many videos of her on YouTube, where she certainly speaks to both her comedy and her passion for her vegan lifestyle. You can find her stint on Letterman on YouTube. I watched it a few weeks ago and it's hysterical. And in addition, she has been a staunch advocate for community access broadcasting and free speech. And she has just been a gem to have on campus again today. So congratulations, Glendora, class of 1950. It's an honor to have you here. So at this time, we are ready to pretty much close. I'd like to bring Anasia to the podium.
You can see through it.
So Onasia Martinez is our current president of the Latin American Student Association, and she is going to bring us to a close of our formal ceremony today. Please stick around, share memories. I think I told most of you the pictures that are scattered around the room are free game for you to take. Some of the other things are part of the college archive, so please don't take them without asking me. Onasia?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for attending the Co-Curricular Hall of Fame. My name is Onasia Martinez, and I'm a sophomore here at AIC. As a student leader myself, I'm super excited to be able to spend time today speaking with previous student leaders who have helped shape the culture of engagement and involvement here on campus. As a current student leader at AIC, I want to take a few moments today to share my experience with you all and express my gratitude for the work that the Co-Curricular Hall of Fame inductees have done as honorable student leaders themselves. In the fall of 2017, as a first-year student, I began my student involvement while serving as the president of the Residence Hall Association, which was a newly formed student organization that was the programming board for residence halls. As an involved student leader, I spent an ample amount of time in the Center for Student Engagement, where I developed a relationship with Alicia McKenzie, the current advisor of the Latin American Student Organization. Through our interactions, Alicia talked to me about restarting LASSO, and as a freshman, I was surprised that she asked me. However, my immediate response was yes. I didn't really have to think about it in the moment because I had prior knowledge about LASSO as a respectable and influential organization across the nation. I also knew I wanted to be a part of something larger, and LASSO seemed to be an opportunity to do just that. Being a Latina and coming to AIC, I recognized that we didn't really have an outlet to represent our culture and our values. Having the chance to bring LASSO back to AIC was exciting because I wanted to create that outlet for fellow Latin American students through the use of events. As the current president of LASO, I sought out to develop programming that not only celebrated Latin American culture and tradition, but also allowed others to acquire new knowledge about all different types of cultures, so there would always be a sense of inclusion and community. Prior to accepting the responsibility of regenerating an essentially forgotten about organization, I didn't really consider the challenges that I would face. As I began recruiting new members, finding other student leaders to serve on the executive board, and reviewing the Constitution for any necessary changes, I grew frustrated and felt so small, although the role I had obtained was in fact monumental. I initially had trouble recruiting members and asked some people who didn't identify as Latin American to join, which often resulted in rejection. The executive board was practically out of the question until later in the semester, Yesenia Climes Rivera, who is now LASO's current secretary, stepped in the picture. When facing these obstacles, of which I'm sure every student leader has faced before, I often felt as if I was walking blindfolded. This experience led me to recall the time that I had officially said yes to AIC. I was uncertain that things would turn out in my favor, but wholeheartedly gave AIC my all upon arrival. I chose to do the same when it came to the startup of LASO. Both actions were leaps of faith that have benefited me by forming me into a more well-rounded student and individual. All in all, I was able to embrace the challenges given to me and trust myself to keep moving forward. Embracing the uncertainty of what lied ahead gave me the motivation to restart the organization. Initially, we had 20 to 30 people interested in the organization, and LASO was able to successfully re-register as an active student organization in the spring of 2018. As I continue to grow as a student leader, I want to express that even though other people may differ from what my culture is all about, that shouldn't prevent them from engaging in the celebration of it. Instead, it should help them embrace their own cultures too. This is an imperative time in America to restart LASO because the current president of the United States often tries to cause people to feel insecure about where they come from and feel the need to apologize for who they are. LASO is trying to accomplish the opposite of that. We want people to dance in their differences and be able to hold on to the essence of their culture. Bringing LASO back to AIC allows me to celebrate the Latin American cultural values with others while learning and appreciating the cultural values of current and future students here at AIC. Moving forward, I thank you all for being the initial leaders that took the first steps in creating this organization and allowing me to continue the tradition. I hope that one day my legacy has the same impact as yours. Thank you.
So that brings us to a formal close. Again, feel free to mingle, socialize. Thanks everyone for being here today. I also do want to recognize a prior Hall of Fame inductee, Earl Price, alum of class of 2000 and current trustee at American International College. Earl joined us a little bit late with his newborn baby, so welcome Earl, and have a great day.
All right.
And we're gonna move you down a little bit.
Justin,
And not slow.
go on to the side.
Let me go, yeah.
1, 2, just hold on. Okay, 1, 2, and one more. Take a few.
Take a few.
1, 2, and.
Earl, you were hitting the ball great. Don't lie.
We're gonna take a few more, everybody.
You got a good one?
1, 2, and.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're awesome.
I do not.
For me.
Yeah, yes, nice to meet you.
Have you?
Sorry. Once you get here.
Eventually, you know.
No, it's good.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, okay, now it's recorded.
Good. Thanks.
Yeah, close the door here.
Well, goodbye, parking lot B.
Okay, so it looks like we're here on State Street. We're gonna go past Homer, Willard, Portland, and turn right on Colonial Avenue and the house that she used to live in.
Put my hat in the
is
trunk
right
so it
there.
doesn't get.
To God be the glory, great things he hath done.
The other side
So loved he the world, he gave us his son, who offered his life an atonement for sin, and opened the life gate that all may come in.
2, 3, 4.
Praise the Lord,
To the right.
praise the Lord,
Okay.
let the earth hear his voice. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, let the people rejoice.
Make sure
Oh,
the door doesn't get this
come
umbrella either. At least
to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give him the
House number, but I think she said 19.
glory, great things he hath done. So it's at 5 a.m.? No, that is the 5 a.m.
there, umbrella can go back.
Alrighty then. Oh no.
Have we got all the
falling
people?
out of my purse. Woohoo!
Have we got all of?
Not yet. They're working on it.
Is there anybody with us?
There will be, I think.
For now too.
Huh? What happened?
Oh, thank you so much for giving us all such a good time.
Well, you gave us all a good time, and what a delicious brunch it was too.
That was
Thank you for that.
That was better than a
That was
brunch, wasn't
lovely.
it?
Oh, it was great. It was, yeah. It was
Well,
a big,
that man
it was
really
a big
knows
spread.
how-
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm the designated driver because they had juice mimosas, but they had alcohol in them. They look very tasty with all sorts of exotic juices and pomegranate and mango, and
Was
but
there?
they were basically untouched because probably everybody there was driving.
Oh, they did have alcohol in them.
Yeah, it was too bad. Okay, how are we in?
Sing me a hymn, please.
Uh,
Sing me a hymn.
Earl, and have a great day.
Justin.
Go on to the side.
1, 2, just hold on. Okay, 1, 2, and one more. Take a few. 1, 2, and.
Earl, you were hitting the ball great. Don't lie.
We're gonna take a few more, everybody.
You're awesome.
I do not.
For me.
Yeah, yes, nice to meet you.
Have you?
Sorry. Once you get here.
Eventually, you know.
No, it's good.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, okay, now it's recorded.
Good. Thanks.
Yeah, close the door.
Now, you've done 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Now 8. Rejoice, ye pure in heart. Rejoice, give thanks and sing. You did the best you could. You did what your conscience said. Rejoice, 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 give thanks and sing. Rejoice, ye pure in heart. Rejoice, give thanks and sing. You did the best you could. You did what your conscience said. Rejoice, 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 give thanks and sing. Oh, helping others I have promised to serve thee to the end. Be thou forever near me, my master and my friend. I shall not fear the battle, because thou art by my side, nor wander from the pathway, because you will be my guide. It's 11 o'clock, now you're doing noon. My faith looks up to thee, thou Lamb of Calvary, Savior divine. Now hear us while we pray. Take all our guilt away. Oh, let us from this day be wholly thine. That's noon. This is 1 o'clock. May thy rich grace impart strength to our fainting heart, our zeal inspire. Oh, hear us while we pray. Take all our guilt away. Oh, let us from this day be wholly thine. That's 1 o'clock. Now let's see, what do we have for 2 o'clock?
You didn't hear Wayne.
What, dear?
Wayne was just playing a chat with Glendora on the piano over there. There's a piano over there.
It too.
Oh,
Well, they're leaving now, but there were a lot of kids here.
Make a little left here.
Yay! One more time, Wayne.
No, 5
Yeah,
more times.
5 more times.
Where is he?
He's up here.
To
Do you want
your
us to
left.
bring a chair down?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Here, no, right in front of you.
Right there?
Yeah?
A little higher to the right there. cover them up, but you know, the ground is wet and yeah, can't be too good for the piano. But
And there's a science museum here.
it was fun
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
to do so. Paint them.
George Walter said,
Perfect.
People would play them.
George Walter
Yeah,
said,
like Wayne
Science
Grafton.
Museum.
I've never played one of those that's been out on the street though.
Never tried. That one across the street wasn't good to them.
Oh.
Somebody got on that and hammered away on it
Oh,
one day while I was there.
I never managed to get over there.
No, because my camera is full, but I saw Greg taking pictures, so he can maybe email. I asked him to take one of Horton for me.
I don't know how good these are going to be.
Well, the sun is coming out.
I just got one of the garbage can there.
Yeah. Hello. All right, so, let's see, do you see any kind of handicap for him?
There,
2.
look at that, it's pink, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
See
One
the pink
more.
railing?
One more step.
Thank you. Is that the end?
Yep, you're on flat,
Straight ahead.
flat ground.
Yep. Hello. How you doing? Hi, good. We're meant to ask for a Henry. Do you know Henry? We're here with Glendora.
That
and-
might be over at the Welcome Center,
Okay.
which is right next
Well,
door.
do we give tickets to you?
Do you have,
We are friends of Heather, that's what it's all about.
Heather Cahill,
Yeah.
and we'll give her some tickets.
all right. You can hold on to those.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, but she wanted us to meet Henry, I think. Yeah, but you don't know him.
I want to say he's over at the Welcome Center.
Okay.
Where's the Welcome Center?
It's right outside to the left. It's right inside the Science Museum. It's right next
Okay.
door.
Oh, I know where you mean. Well, you want to just, while we're in, you want to just look around?
Yes.
Okay, so go left. Go left.
Thank,
And,
thank you,
thank
dear.
you. Fun, kids would love this.
Well, you're my kids,
Yeah, I'm a good kid.
and my kid Wayne.
Young kid's bedroom. He made oodles of doodles all over his walls. Wow. Creatures and castles and silly staircases and all. It's interesting. So he was, there's some photographs here of his family picture on the wall. And a Seuss bakery. They have like little houses that kids can go in.
But, Wayne? Get some good footage?
Yes.
It's some sort of big day. Mommy, you're the customer. You're the customer. Go over there. You're the customer. Go over there. You're the customer. Hey, I'm famous. I'm on
Here
TV.
you have the Seuss's bakery with some fig pies and lemon cream custard or something.
Oh, here, no. You're the customer. You're the...
Nice. There's a painting of Theodore Geisel. Where? Right there.
Oh, no, didn't stay there.
Did you get it, Wayne?
Didn't get out the country. Don't get it.
Everything. Nobody can resist the mirror.
And we need some money.
juice, Wayne?
Stay with the family, okay? Can you pick that up? I said to her, she wasn't in office. Oh, it's a playhouse. Oh, yeah.
Just understood it, you know, you see, open signs outside the action of the other pictures.
That's quite the fireplace.
I kind of wanted to get a picture of Glendora with a cat in the hat.
I seen an iguana on the wall. It was pretty neat. That's cool. Okay, good? All right, next there. These are copies of it. A little closer to the cat. Hello. Look like you like it, girl. Then again, because of the hat, right? Stand right there and take this picture right there. The other side. Cheers.
getting tired?
Oh, sure, I've been tired for 5 hours. Are you?
A little bit.
Yeah. What are you going to do next?
What am I going to do next? Prepare for a long ride.
Yeah, lovely. Okay. And we'll get the begonias, okay? Careful, Glendora, hold on a sec. All right, we're gonna make a sharp left here.
Careful.
Yeah. So, Wayne, we're in that parking lot right there where we walked in. Do you want to continue with Glendora and I'll run in and see if I can find those two? Okay. All right. Glendora, I'm going to go back in and look for Greg and Scott.
Thanks.
And then Wayne's gonna take you over to the car. I left it unlocked, Wayne.
Or, yeah, or you can just leave them there. Was it interesting to you?
Oh yes, it's been a very interesting, enjoyable day.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I'm happy that you had a good time.
Oh yes, and I know that it was a big day for you.
That was so good then that you enjoyed it.
Oh yes.
And the companionship to have you.
I guess it's over here. Is the parking lot?
I don't know, but I don't want to walk around. Can you? I'll wait here and you go find it.
Okay, let me just see.
Carito, ¿verdad? Ok, entonces te vería por la parte de atrás. De Orlando. Gracias, mucho.
And that was 20% off. But I thought
Are they man-made material? I hope.
Not sure.
I wish I'd got to you before that. Man-made material, honey.
How do you tell?
Oh, it's labeled. It has to be labeled. All man-made material. They're beautiful. Loafers, everything. Too late now.
Yes. It doesn't say man-made.
Looks nice.
Oh, well, I thought I couldn't see $50 to put into a pair of shoes that might not hold up that well.
Well, obvious. Obvious. Now, Scott's here,
Yeah.
and now we have to find Sandy, who was out looking for
She's in
you.
the back.
Here she comes. Here she comes.
Oh, finally.
Out
I
the
tell you,
bathroom.
this
She's
is
in the
like the
bathroom
Marx
and
Brothers.
She's coming out. And the cars are out here.
Here?
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Camcorder to Marx Brothers?
They're over
The
here.
one we walked into.
Okay, well, that one, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We could have come this one, but this one is right across the street
Yeah.
from the,
This one's close.
turn right, sharp right,
Hard right-hand turn.
hard right. And we gotta get there before the cars get towed away. Bill is protecting the cars from,
While you were out looking for Wayne
uh-huh,
and Gregory,
mm-hmm,
Gregory and, not Wayne, but
Scott.
Scott and Gregory and Scott came back and went out looking for you. It's like the Marx Brothers, see?
I used to get those shoes at the Tom McCann store, and as I remember, the insides of the shoes would wear out, and I'd take them back.
It's all
And-
flat.
I'd say, you know, these didn't wear right,
Yeah,
and they'd say, well, do you want your money back? And I'd say, well, how about another pair of shoes?
Yeah.
And they'd give me another pair, and,
No
and
kidding.
they'd wear out. But then the store closed up. I was selling Glendora.
well, you single-handedly put that store out of business,
I
did
don't
you?
know, but I had a pair that I never wore. They were brand new, and
Yeah.
I put them away. And it must have been 20 years, and I thought, you know, it's time you started wearing those. But
Yeah.
The soles were all disintegrated.
Oh, no kidding.
So
And they,
I went to the shoemaker, and I said, how much
yeah,
put the new soles on?
yeah,
They wanted $50.
just to put the soles
Yeah,
on.
so I thought I might as well buy a whole new pair
That's
of
right.
shoes.
Yeah, it's too
But the
bad,
sad
really.
part is that there are not man-made
Yeah.
materials. They come from a poor cow
Right,
Oh, these
who
are-
needed its skin.
These are none good.
Right.
Hey,
so.
How far do we have to go this time?
We're here, we're right here, the cars are right here.
Really?
And here's Bill, protecting them from tow trucks.
oh, Bill, could I have one of those invitations for the lecture? I'll give it to Glendora.
Well, thank you, Wayne.
Okay, so, wait, are you coming back in my car or in Bill's car?
Your car.
What? I'm insulted.
So,
Now, Wayne, I think I want you to go with me, because I haven't visited with you long enough.
Okay. I wanted to give you this, Glendora. It's an invitation to our lecture at the church.
I'm not going.
Oh, okay.
oh,
No,
It's during the day.
no,
No, it's learn to
no.
pray.
I have a
spiritual
lecture I would
and
give them, though.
heal. Oh, it says learn to pray and heal, a spiritual adventure.
Hmm. All right, would you kindly put it in my bag?
Yes. Maybe you'll change your mind. I don't know.
All right, honey.
And it's given by Nate Frederick, a member of the Christian Science Board of Lectureship.
Oh, really?
And sometimes he's on the daily lift.
Oh, yeah. Where are we? What are we doing now?
So
I'm
Glendora,
just texting Alyssa.
which way are you, do you want us to go back? Or are we ready to go back?
Yeah, I would like to have Wayne go back, and I would like to go back in Sandy's car.
Oh.
All right. Well, what do you
So
want,
swap
Wayne?
him back. Yeah, with you, I think. So, Glendora, how do you
That's
feel
not
if
the
I
way I
stop
heard
by
it.
North Adams to maybe pick up Alyssa? Would that be okay with you?
Yes.
In which case, I'd be going slightly different way than you guys,
Well, then I
right?
couldn't go in the same car.
Well, aren't you both going to Pittsfield?
yes.
Oh, yeah, we
Yes.
can go in our car.
Yes.
So you guys are gonna go to North
Well,
Adams
I don't
and
know.
go
I'm
off
waiting to
91
hear what
and
my daughter
off
has
Route
to
9?
say.
Oh.
You may take Route
That-
9 then, or?
I was thinking 91 or 9. I don't know. They both go there
Yeah.
about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
You got something
Yeah.
calling on you there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Anyway, do you want to sit down in the meantime, Glendora? Give
What,
some-
in a car?
Yeah. Hug
Okay.
these guys goodbye and then get in the car.
Yeah.
Because they're not going, well, they might not be going the same direction as us. Bill and Wayne.
Where's the sit down?
Over here. Yeah, make sure everybody has their right things. And I've got a bunch of t-shirts, so I don't know if you guys got your t-shirts.
I have one.
You returned your hat, I know. Here, I'll hold the camera when you get in. Okay.
Okay, everybody got the
It was a
hat?
fun day, Wayne.
It was very
You got a
enjoyable.
hat
Yeah.
and the cameras? Get
Yeah,
the-
I know Wayne returned his hat,
Mhm.
and Bill's not wearing his, so I
think
assume he
they're all-
returned
I
it.
saw them all back
Don't
there.
assume that, please.
Okay, I'll
No,
check.
No, it
I'll
looked
double
to me
check.
as if they're all there.
Okay.
So I won't be, I probably won't be able to ride back with you.
back to Nassau, that area? I'm going to Pittsfield. I mean, I could swing over there.
And we might be going to Pittsfield too, but I'm hoping to see my daughter, and we're gonna take 91 and then to 90.
Yeah, how far is it north to Adams from here? Is it?
Goodbye, Springfield. You've been full of love and joy and accomplishment for all of us, and we all enjoyed it together, and we had fun. There's the Springfield Library.
Yep, it looks like they're working on it.
Is this it, Greg?
Here, with the scaffolding around
yes.
it.
Where, on the left or the right?
Right.
On the right, the gray
Yeah,
building.
the big gray building on the right with
Yeah.
the scaffolding.
They're doing some work on it.
Oh, a lot of work, so
That's a great library.
it's a good building. You don't have to paint it.
That really helped my
Stone.
career.
Yes.
It's like all like limestone or something. It looks like amazing. Yeah, they don't make buildings like that nowadays. I mean, you don't see them making things like that. So. I check your camera. You know, just hold this.
Glendora,
So what I would do
there
is,
you're on camera now.
I would say either take her camera.
Very good.
This one. This one.
Happy day.
Oh, pretty good. Glendora would just.
Do you have an SD card in there?
Glendora, did you bring your speechwriter?
Yeah, this doesn't.
Your speechwriter.
Oh, yeah? I want to know who Mr. Schwartz was, who gave us this building.
Yeah, I don't have an SD card.
Who was Mr. Schwartz?
But let's see, he's got this and we have those two there.
Where's Sandy? Oh, he's good.
And then Scott's got the camera four. Scott's got camera four. And then I think Sandy's got
So you need to check out some of those articles, I think, Lewis, later. Lewis is a member of Model Congress, serving as chair on the 58th Model Congress during his senior year, and was a member of the Student Activities Committee. Again, as we've mentioned before, he's the co-founder with Elizabeth of the Latin American Student Organization. He was also a resident assistant and member of the wrestling team. Nunez received a co-curricular award each of his 4 years at AIC, as well as 3 executive board awards, the Model Congress Award, and was inducted into Who's Who among students in American universities and colleges. Nunez is a senior development accountant for Legat McCall Properties and previously worked for Simons Associates Incorporated, PRM Realty, and Haggett Longobardi. He is a volunteer youth wrestling and youth baseball coach in Wakefield, Mass., where he resides with his wife, Emily Rivera Nunez, and AIC alumna and fellow co-curricular Hall of Fame inductee, who we'll see in a moment, and their children, Liana and Mateo, who are both here today. And he definitely married up. So congratulations.
I just want to say first, I love AIC. When I lived, Keyshawn lived 5 minutes away, I lived 20 minutes away. I grew up in Enfield, Connecticut. Coming here was the best thing, the best decision I made after, having proposed to my wife and having my kids. That, was one of the best things in my life. As I see a lot of, my former classmates achieve outside of AIC as professionals. Keyshawn, when I read that article the other day, man, I almost cried because I said, this is a man who's loyal to his community, and he's taken this community on the map and forever going to be recognized here in the city. So for what you do in here, we are alumni, basically, are so proud of you, man, of what you have done. Kia, Lizzie, as Kia said, there were some times where you were here and you had to make the best of it. We made the best of it. We took each other and we made, You know, we socialize outside, within our clubs. You know, Elizabeth, one of the best things I said was creating lasso, and it still to this day is continued. I never imagined that it would continue after all those budget cuts I did. You know, at Student Government Executive Board, but it lasts, and I'm happy that we put lasso on campus. You know, to my wife, as Brian said, I married up. You know, we had a running joke when we got inducted, was that she basically was riding on my success here, and vice versa. You know, she said the same thing. But it's hard. It's hard to. It was hard to kind of match up. But you know, we have 2 kids, and we're trying to show them. We're trying to show them that they have a better future, and whether they choose AIC, which I hope so, we're just trying to make sure that they have a better life as well. So, I want to dedicate this award, especially to my family first and foremost. And I also want to dedicate this to my parents who can't be here today, and as well my wrestling coach who also can't hear, Aniba Nieves, who has a big part of this as well. In that, I appreciate everybody, and you guys have a good homecoming this year.
Thank you.
So, Emily graduated from AIC with a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology in 1997, a year ahead of Lewis, so she's obviously the smarter one. Kidding. At AIC, Rivera Nunez earned the Outstanding Freshman Award, Outstanding Sophomore Award, Outstanding Junior Award, and additionally received, as I mentioned earlier, the Henrietta Littlefield Award, which is one of the most prestigious awards a student on this campus can receive. That particular award best demonstrates, again, the leadership qualities and commitment to co-curricular student life as exemplified by Henrietta Littlefield. She was inducted into Who's Who among students in American colleges and universities and was an active member of the campus community as an orientation leader, resident assistant resident director in Hines Hall. I didn't mention this before, but back when these inductees worked in Hines Hall together, Hines was a building that people lived in all 4 years of their college experience. It was not just a freshman building. There was no Edgewood complex. It was Hines. Hines is where people lived. If you wanted a more lively experience, and I think everyone but Lewis lived in Hines, and Lewis lived in Magna, which was our best building on campus. It's now our worst. I won't say that. I can't really say that, but it's perceived to be our worst. But Lewis lived in Magna, which was the best facilities that we had on campus by far. So. Emily also served as a graduate assistant for Dr. Greg Schmuddy. I was hoping he was going to make it here today, but there's some things that I will speak to you about later to update you on Greg, but he just recently retired this past spring and maybe here later in the day as well. Since graduating, Emily has enjoyed a successful career in criminal justice and victim advocacy. She's currently a senior forensic interviewer and family advocate with the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office, having earned her office's Unsung Hero Award in 2015. Her experience also includes tenures as a victim witness advocate, bilingual forensic interviewer, and multidisciplinary team coordinator with the Hampden County District Attorney's Office, and as a bilingual forensic interviewer for the Chicago Children's Advocacy Center. Again, all that Res Life training is coming to the fold. Rivera Nunez also served as a moderator for the Midwest Regional Children's Advocacy Center National Spanish-Speaking Peer Review and is a training associate for the National Criminal Justice Training Program at Fox River Valley Technical College. Rivera Nunez lives in Wakefield with her husband Louis, an AIC alum and fellow co-curricular Hall of Fame inductee, and their children Liliana and Mateo are still here. So congratulations, Emily.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the honor of this award. I definitely wasn't expecting it. I have so much to be grateful for to AIC. It took a young lady who was the first in her family to go to college. So I came here really frightened. I didn't know how I was going to make the 4 years. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. Okay. Anyways, from financial aid to Ms. White to everyone, they really supported my time here. I learned so much, I grew so much. As we were talking, I remembered other things that I had done that I had forgotten. I was a member of a Greek society here. I was a mentor, and that really started my career path in helping kids. And I saw a picture of a kid that I mentored here, and I was telling Brian, she used to show up at the door back when we didn't have security. She used to knock on my door, and that for me really and truly started my pathway into helping children and families. So I'm very grateful for all the lessons that AIC showed me, and to my kids, doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what your beginnings are, just know that your future is your own to make. And I made mine, and I want the very same for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm saving the last 2 minutes for the applause. Now, it was the first day of classes. Can you hear okay, everybody?
Yes. Come this way
And
so
the,
people can see you on this side.
Professor swaggered into the classroom, and he said, if there's any dumbbells in this classroom, I want you to stand up immediately. Well, of course, a long time went by. Finally, a lone freshman stood up in the back room, and the professor bellowed, "Are you a dumbbell?" And the little freshman says, "Well, no, sir, but I felt sorry for you standing up there all by yourself." Now, a college president, not our college president, was relieved of his duties by the Board of Trustees. And in his final speech to the board, he said, "I depart from this position exactly as I entered it, fired with enthusiasm." Daddy, what is college bread? A 4-year loaf made from the old man's dough. The medical college had its own cheer at the football team. Hypodermic, hypodermic. What does that mean? Stick it to them.
Ignition. Ignition.
What's it, Hitcher?
Ignition.
No, there's one before that.
No, you got them all. Did you get swagger?
Yeah. A college professor said, for every student who has a spark of genius, there's 10 others with ignition problems.
I like that.
And a newspaper reporter was interviewing college college professors, and he said to one professor, "What are the 3 things you like best about being a professor?" And he said, "Shaping the next generation, making good Americans, and making responsible citizens." And the reporter said to the next professor, "What do you like best, 3 things about being a professor?" And he said, "June, July, and August." What comes next, Sandy?
Transcript.
Oh, what does a college transcript teach a parent? You don't have to lift weights to raise a dumbbell. A young man at commencement said to his mom and dad, "Here's the diploma you wanted me to get from medical school. And now, as I've been telling you since I'm 5 years old, I'm going out and be a fireman." And next, Sandy.
I don't, sorry, I can't read that one. I don't, where, how about Old College?
What, dear?
Old College?
Oh, yeah. Old college presidents, do they fade away, folks? Do they die? No. They just lose their faculties.
And then you want to talk about Lucent and Treats and Beacon. Did you want to talk about those things?
Yes, but there's another joke before that.
Can't read this one. I don't.
I want to tell you, this is serious, folks. I wanted to tell you about, I have a whole collection of these jokes, and I would like to see them in Lucent to cheer us up. By a show of hands, anybody agree? Vice President Robert Cole, please take note.
My name.
What? Oh, yes. In my 90 years, folks, I have learned that the only thing that, this is really serious, the only thing that really matters is how you treated others. And a third serious thing is treating others includes animals. How did you treat animals? And I really will go so far as to say that you cannot have that peace with God that passes all understanding unless you are vegan. No animal products. Back to the jokes.
Apples. Apples.
Oh, a professor said in the old days it was great. The kids used to bring you apples, now they drive you bananas.
Marsh.
Oh, my husband, when he was graduated from Boston University, President Marsh said to he says, will the audience please remain seated while the dignitaries on the stage pass out? Let's see what more.
Hall of Fame.
Okay, what's the next one?
Speed.
What, dear?
Speed.
Oh, professor, to a student. What do you know about the speed of light? He said, nothing, sir. It just gets here too early in the morning.
Academic.
And the speed of light, you know, is less than it's less speed than Vice President Shaughnessy can talk. Folks, do you know how G.C. Merriam, right here published in Springfield on Federal Street, George and Charles Merriam, do you know how they defined academic? Not expected to produce a practical result. Okay, Sandy?
PhD.
You all know what BA stands, right? Bachelor of Arts. You all know what BS stands for? You all know what MBA stands for? Master of Business Administration. More accurately stated, more bad advice. And do you all know what PhD stands for? Piled higher and deeper.
Difficult.
A student asked a professor, is it difficult to become a professor? And he says, no, you do it by degrees. Next.
Warp.
What dear?
The seven dwarfs.
Oh, the college president went before the faculty and said our student body suffers from seven dwarf syndrome. Seven dwarf syndrome, what is that? Every seventh student is dopey. And every fifth one is what?
Sleepy.
Yeah.
Arthur.
Oh, okay, everybody. Where did King Arthur go to school? Night school. And why was a professor mad at the owl?
Why was
He didn't give a hoot. And why did the prince ask his daddy to go to school with him? To go to kindergarten with him? Because the teacher said, bring a ruler to school. And Sandy, where are we now?
Harvard.
Oh yes, you can always tell a Harvard man, Vince, but you can't tell him much.
Golf.
And who, oh
Golf.
yeah, and the professor was out on the golf course and he says, Caddy, why do you keep looking at your watch? And the caddy says, well, no, sir, this is a compass.
7 by 5.
Yes, the college coach said to the college professor, you have to pass our star player, we're going to lose the championship without him. And the professor said, well, he said that 7 times 5 is 33. And the coach says, so he missed it by 1.
Fireman.
Yep.
No, you did that one. N plus 1.
Well, how does a mathematics professor discipline his children? If I told you not to do that n times, this is the n plus 1 time.
And chief desk.
And the president was showing a group of businessmen around the campus, and one of the businessmen said, "How many students do you have here?" And he says, "About 62%. Now, a little boy, the teacher said, "Johnny, I think you cheated on the test. I think you copied the answers of the girl sitting across the aisle. The first question was, who was first president of the United States? She wrote Washington and you wrote Washington. The second question was, who was president during the Civil War? She wrote Lincoln and you wrote Lincoln. The third question was, who was president during the Louisiana Purchase? She wrote, I don't know, and you wrote, me neither."
All right, let's give Glendora 2 minutes of applause. So if you couldn't tell, Glendora's had quite a career in broadcast television. She's also been on the David Letterman show, so that comes from her, her display of many jokes and things like that. But prior to all that, she was a member of the class of 1950, and that's when she graduated with her degree in psychology and English. She later pursued graduate studies in physics at State University of Buffalo, New York. At AIC, she was part of the psychology club. She was their secretary, part of the student association, was part of Interfaith Council, and also participated in radio workshops, which I think probably led to some of her enjoyment of broadcasting over the years. Quite significantly, A Chat with Glendora has been a syndicated public access cable television show since 1972 with over 20,000 episodes. You can Google Glendora and find many videos of her on YouTube, where she certainly speaks to both her comedy and her passion for her vegan lifestyle. You can find her stint on Letterman on YouTube. I watched it a few weeks ago and it's hysterical. And in addition, she has been a staunch advocate for community access broadcasting and free speech. And she has just been a gem to have on campus again today. So congratulations, Glendora, class of 1950. It's an honor to have you here today. So at this time, we are ready to pretty much close. I'd like to bring Anasia to the podium.
Centerfolds and Lucy.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Just hold on. Okay, 1, 2, and one more. Pick a few.
Pick a few.
2,
Girl, you were hitting the ball great. Don't lie.
We're gonna take a few more, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
So I got 4 of them.
Work with youth to tell the story of what it's like living in the place that represented so much wealth for America, and yet the youth who live there are absolutely poverty-stricken and have no idea that they're even next to the beginning of the Erie Canal or any of the history about it. So it actually became a really exciting project for the youth as they explored the neighborhood. And we'll just give you a tiny example of this.
I've got a mule and her name is Sal. 15 years on the now, she's a good old worker and a good old pal. 15 years on the American
you just took your samples and what you're going to do is take them back, those samples, and you're going to put them on petri dishes. We're concerned that waste material from either humans or agricultural, livestock are going into the water and then migrating down the river. It's also about how we as humans are changing the microbial population that's out there and really affecting us. Or what we learned before, we were experiencing now. We learned before that we can make all kinds of chemicals. We could make all kinds of paints and we dumped them into this river. And we made a lot of money. I mean, as you know, the United States really gained a lot of wealth in the world by basically dumping their waste away. Well, now we are dealing with the waste, and it's really important for young people to participate in a scientific effort to gather the information about what are the chemicals and the microbiological pollutants that threaten our health. How do we accurately monitor it? How do we get the information to people that can make decisions about we're going to clean this place up? It is your responsibility to engage in this. No one else is going to do it. There's a lot of people out there that are actually saying,
you know, but you're concentrating more on like the content of your ideas than like if that guy was back.
You're concentrating on both. You're honoring the content and the technique equally. I mean, I think you should be. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question of how are you doing all this and managing the grant?
Yes.
Because usually grants are so intensive.
I know.
It's hard to do
the
work.
I know. It's super hard. You wouldn't believe how many final reports that I'm supposed to be doing today. And we don't have a person to do them. I mean, it is hard. I mean, that's the thing, is about leveraging your resources and not getting on a sidetrack. Now, you can see actually here that when we moved into the sanctuary, we were the Hudson Mohawk Independent Media Center. We were a bunch of radical media makers who were trying to fight the war in Iraq. You know, but when we moved there, we started getting more and more connected to the community, realizing the environmental issues. So you can see in this piece, we're starting to do science. And if you look at our brochure now, it's art, media, and science. So we're like shifting. We're also, I mean, you know, being adaptive, right? And the next example is going to be an example.
Can I throw in also, if you have any local, like, we didn't mention college interns, right?
I have an example. You can say, wait, I'm thinking, I'm going to talk over this. So that last kid is our youngest intern. He's 12 now, but he's been with us since we were 8. We're just flip back one back.
I realize
You're going forward. You go back one back one. Okay. So that's a kid who just, this is Trayvon. He just lived a few doors away. He's been working with us. He's 12 now for like 4 years. His mom just moved him to Schenectady, so he's too far away from us. Somebody donated $2,000 for him to get a driver service to bring him to us. Right? So, you know, you figure every which way, right? And now, of course, we're doing community radio, too. And radio is a huge magnet. It's all about the power of having a voice, okay? But I was going to say that the next piece I'm going to show, when you think about, like, you know, strategies for media, we just got defunded from NISCA Electronic Media a couple of days ago. You haven't heard that story yet. After 13 years of support, okay? You cannot depend on your funding sources, your, you know, even public access, you know, I mean, this is a struggle. You know, you have to figure out your other ways. So some of the things are, we have a sustainer, a sanctuary sustainer campaign, which is we have to diversify our revenue sources. There isn't enough funding in the media arts world, okay? There's a lot of media arts funders who've closed down, okay? So this is funded, this next piece, by the Department of Environmental Conservation, the DEC. Okay, so we started diversifying our funding resources, which is super critical. So this is one, and we'll just play it low, and I'll just talk.
I realize that.
No, the last one. The one you So here we're working with the DEC, and we're testing for actually eels in the posting kill as it enters the Hudson River. And the youth were there testing for the eels, and they found eels, which shows that it's healthy water. I mean, it was pretty exciting, and we're making media, so it's a way of supporting our youth media through the funding around science and environmental science. And this was also part of our Uptown Summer program. So that's how we funded partially our Uptown Summer Program this past summer is through funding from the DEC. Okay, because you might have 10 interns and 3 might be really great. And 7 might actually pull out your resources from you, right? So, but there's some kind of Zen way to deal with interns, okay? But Nick was an incredible intern. We loved him. And I just want to say, well, you'll hear what he says, and then I'll tell you what happened. Here, yeah, go back. Short clip, very short clip, Nick. What's the next one?
I realized that if I were to wear a suit every day and be in an office for 30 years of my life, I would regret it. The sanctuary helped me become the person I always wanted to be.
So that's just it. I mean, so he came, he worked there, he developed a portfolio and a resume, and it's a way to attract interns, is to but also to honor helping them develop that resume and portfolio. And somebody was walking through the sanctuary one day, and our director said, hey, give your card to them. And he now has a full-time job back in Boston, where his family lives. They're from Haiti, they moved to Boston, and he has a full-time media job. Boom.
Is he filmmaking or is he?
Filmmaking job, yeah. Actually, it's a wonderful company that just makes films for museums. It's like a perfect job. I mean, it's incredible. Well, everybody else is struggling in the freelance world, you know. So, what do I have next? I'm just wrapping up. Again, it's all about having a voice. It's always really important, we feel, to have the youth get up and present their work publicly. It's incredibly critical. And that's us, the mediasanctuary.org. And I just want to pass it on and introduce Prince, who's the next filmmaker. He's an incredibly talented filmmaker right here in Schenectady, who has a lot of passion about working with youth. I was honored to meet him when we did the Breathing Lights project, and I was looking to see who are the producers in Schenectady, Troy, and Albany who should get the funding from Bloomberg, you know, to give voice to youth. And Prince did brilliant work. Everyone loved it. So thank you, Prince, for being here.
How you doing? First, I just want to apologize. The car has some technical difficulties on literally trying to rush to get here from the side of the road and stuff like that. So I had to finally Uber here from the way. But my name is Prince Rob. I'm the executive director of a program called TV Controlled by Us. Basically, it's a nonprofit organization designed to allow teens to address social issues through the platform of film and music. I'm not going to kind of like, just for the sake of time, because we are running out of time and stuff like that, I'm just going to show you probably one video to provide. This is our after-school program that we are working with in collaboration with Proctors, that we provide a film and music program for the high school. And so what we do is we have a studio that's literally right upstairs, right here. We have a whole studio that we built ourselves and stuff like that, and Proctors has given us space to. And so this is a concert that we had literally right here in this room with a bunch of the high school kids. They basically record all of their music, we mix it down professionally and stuff like that, the music video. So this was kind of like a recap, if you want to say.
We came to shut this building down. Nobody know where to stand up? We gonna stand up. We gonna make it happen. Y'all work for this, right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. Y'all work for this, right? Yeah. That's the energy I need all night until it's done. Listen, I want y'all to know that I'm proud of y'all. You know what I'm saying? We pulled this together. We made it work. Right? Right? We love, listen, we love y'all. We no fun. Right? Yo, listen, but watch this though. Watch this though. While we up there, make sure you connecting with the crowd. Make sure you paying attention. Alright? And whatever you do not stop. Keep going.
My name is Madi. I'm about to do our sound check for the Survive concert. Get it?
Alright, we're going to hold you down. That's going to be the first song we're going to show. Alright, you got this. Alright, get ahead of the game.
You wasn't a scammer, wasn't into spelling. Ran off with my heart and so you wasn't into yelling. I still think about all the times that we shared. then you started acting different like you never cared. We was getting real distant, acting weird, I think you was scared. Broke me cause you was broken, yeah, you got me then. Hurt people, so I guess it's fair. All the pain go away when you play in my head. I would say what's on my mind, you would simply stare. Man, you really about to act like I wasn't there. You felt me, but you ain't really felt me.
It's your boy Touch Money Seeds. It's your boy Mr. Real Dog, Touch Money Revolution in the building. We here for the It's a Vibe Mixtape Release Party, man. Shout out to the kids at SHS High School, man. Told by Alfred Johnson. We out here. Let's see what it is, man. Represent. 518 thing.
You really felt me, you was putting on the front, I gave you around me. You ain't never been a doctor, you tried to help me. Funny, you the one who's sick, I really need the healing. You said you felt me, but you ain't really felt me. You was putting on the front, I gave you around me. You ain't never been a doctor, you tried to help me. Funny, you the one who's sick, I really need the healing.
You ask me why I'm so tired of the bullshit. It's not me, baby, it's you, girl, who you fooling? Gotta get it off my chest, cause lately I've been coolin'. How you try to play the kid, baby, I ain't stupid. That's why I hate falling in love with you, think I'm Cupid. You be bugging about these shits and I be looking clueless. I got Nike in my blood, that's just how I do it. I got Nike in my blood, that's just how I do it. Hey, and for some time I ain't been happy. Back then we used to chat, now you won't even snap me. Way back we was living good, chillin' happy. But if somebody ever cared, it would be the past me. If you ask
Said you felt me, but you ain't really felt me. You was putting on the front, I gave you around me. You ain't never been a doctor, you tried to help me. Funny, you the one who's sick, I really need the healing.
Cause they don't ever ever show the love, so I started flexing on them like a muscle. After picking myself up just like a fumble on my hustle, I don't wanna scrub, no. Cause they don't ever show the love, so I started flexing on them like a muscle. After picking myself up just like a fumble on my hustle.
You said you felt me, but you ain't really felt me. You was putting on the front, I gave you around me. You ain't never been a doctor, you tried to help me. Funny, you the one who's sick, I really need the healing. You said you felt me, but you ain't really felt me. You was putting on the front, I gave you around me. You ain't never been a doctor, you tried to help me. Funny, you the one who's sick, I really need the healing.
That was actually like one of our lighting concerts. Like literally, there's no standing room, the place is completely packed. I'm not gonna go dive into my story. I'm gonna dive in more into how do you captivate a youth program, right? A lot of people always ask, like, well, how do you get these kids to do this stuff, right? And it really starts off with number one, you have to understand the demographic of the kids that you're serving. That's the first thing. You have to understand who you're serving. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand who is it that you're connecting with. That's very important. You know, Niskayuna is about 2 miles from here, or whatever the case may be. So those kids are totally different. They have different needs. Not that they don't have problems, right? Problems are different, okay? But from Schenectady High School. Schenectady High School deals with a more urban area. Niskayuna deals with a more suburban area, right? So when I'm approaching a camp, any place that I'm going to talk to kids, the first thing I'm looking at is the demographic of kids. What am I dealing with? You know, you have to understand these kids' problems. What is it that makes them tick? What is their culture, right? A lot of that plays a part. If I'm going to Niskayuna and I know they love rock and roll, why would I bring hip hop, right? It doesn't make sense. It's not going to captivate them. It's not going to get them interested. So understanding your demographic is very, very highly important, all right? The second thing is this. Once you understand the demographic, you need to understand not just the culture, but what are the needs? What is it going to take to get these kids to be interested? And one of the things that I always do, and it always works, is I target the leader. I target the head. I target who's musically, who is inclined, which kid is inclined. Because the way kids work with other kids. If they see one cool kid, right, who they feel is cool, right, that is going to be a part of the program, well, you just probably won 10 more kids, right, just off the rip, all right? And so you position certain pieces in certain places, just like in any workplace, right? Yeah, I mean, even as adults, when you go to a certain job or a certain work, it's the supervisor or the owner's job to identify who are the leaders, right? Who are the leaders and who has the influence, right? Who is the one that's gonna influence the other people on the job to work harder, or to work worse, you know? All that is important as well. And when I work with these kids, I'm very passionate, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I've been through a lot of my life. You know, I'm very transparent about my story. You know, I'm very personal with the kids. What I mean is, like, I allow them to believe that we are no different, okay? We are the same. I'm just years old. I'm just more experienced, and I'm just older than you. But I still have problems, and I still go through the same thing and the same temptations that you go through every single day, all right? And so when I'm dealing with these kids, I am there with them. I'm in their face. I'm letting them know I don't care how you feel. I'm here because I want you to be better. I want you to know that I love you. I want you to know that I care about you. It's not just about the video. The video is just a bait to get them here. You know, a lot of times we want them to do video, but you don't understand. Some kids may be going through a substantial amount of problems where they're not able to really concentrate. You know, there's a story that says this. If I'm out in the woods and I'm facing a bear, right? And I'm looking at this bear, two things are happening. One, either I'm going to run or I'm going to stand there and I'm going to face this bear. But everything that's going through, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm sweating, my palms are sweaty. I don't know whether I'm scared. All this adrenaline is going through. And then all of a sudden, while I'm facing this bear, right, somebody pops out the bushes with an algebra question. I said, hey, look, what is all this? I'm not thinking about the algebra question. I'm thinking about the bear. That's what I'm thinking about. That's my focus. How can I focus on an algebra question or anything that you want me to focus on, and I got a bear in front of me? That's important. So I deal with the bear. That's what I deal with. I'm not dealing with the algebra question. We can talk about that later. Because atmosphere and culture plays a part in how kids respond. If the atmosphere is conducive for kids to respond, they will. Even if it's during time, even if they don't respond right away. But kids eventually will respond. This concert was put together with my eyes closed, literally. You know, Proctors, this is one of our lighter concerts. This is one of our smaller concerts. We've done main stage, we've done full-fledged movies. We're working on a second movie right now called Cradle. Working on this movie for 5 years. The city has a problem with teenage pregnancy. It's really bad. Kids are not protecting themselves. You know, there's a lot of things they're not doing. We made a whole film dealing with real stories from the community that we built for the last 5 years. From research to not only research, but building a script, writing a soundtrack, real documentaries. I mean, these girls trusted me, and young men trusted me with their stories. They give us their stories. So it is our responsibility as young filmmakers to make sure that we're doing the right thing with the stories. That's why it's called Told by Us, right? Told by us, because we would like to tell our own narrative. Media is very powerful because that means you control the narrative. You control what people are thinking. You control how people are viewing. You know, 75%, this is not a race thing, please don't feel uncomfortable, but 75% of white people do not live among black people. So their only image of black people sometimes is through TV. So if you're watching things like, let's say, Love and Hip Hop or something that's not a good representation of black people, finally when you meet somebody that's African American or whatever, that's the image that's stuck in your head. When I was growing up, I grew up around white people, so my only image of white people was what I seen on TV. You know, every single white person is smart. They got to be. You know, they have all the jobs, right? So that was my image, not understanding that it's a much bigger world out here that I haven't even been introduced to. There's a lot of people that I haven't met, and the same thing with the kids. When you meet these kids, when these kids come through the door, I do not know them. I don't care if you have a chain all the way down to your feet, and you got all types of rings and earrings and spikes in your head, and your pants are sagging all the way down, and I don't address none of those things. You know why I don't address none of those things? Because I'm not in a position to correct you. I have to build a relationship with you. Who am I to you? Right? We want kids to do stuff, but we don't even know them. I want to correct you, but I'm not willing to solve the problem. All right? If I'm going to ask you to pull your pants up, I need to have a belt in my hand. Because without the belt, it lets that kid know that. It makes him feel like you're judging me. Because if you cared about me, you would pull me to the side and say, hey, pull your pants up behind me. Here's a belt. You know what I'm saying? That's letting him know that I care enough about you to go spend my own money or to at least go find something for you if I'm going to take the time to correct you. And I don't even like to use use the word correct. Like, even that word bothers me. You know, so, but in a nutshell, I wish I had really a whole lot more time to like really dive into what it is that I do. But before we leave, I'm going to show you a clip of this from the movie that we've been working on. It's called Cradle. It basically deals with the high teenage pregnancy rates. So Schenectady was number 2 in New York State for highest teenage pregnancy rates. Reason being, because we only have a population of 70,000 people, and we still had the same numbers as the Bronx. Okay? Which was disturbing. So this has been going on since the 1980s. So I did a movie called Fast Life back in 2013. This is how I started my after-school program in 2007. We released our first film, big film, in 2013. We had over 2,000 people here in the main stage. This is when I first started working with Proctors, right? They helped me put out the film. It took me 2.5 years to make that film with kids, over 130 kids involved, over 40 organizations, it took $1,000, raised $50,000, right? From a film, and I wasn't even a nonprofit then. People were just sending me checks. See, when you become passionate about the work you're doing, you ain't gonna have to always worry about money. Because people will understand your work and they will see it and they will put up because you're doing that work, right? So this film that we made is explicit. I will let you know that right now, okay? And the reason being, because some people will argue, well, why you got kids doing all types of stuff? And because nothing is hidden no more. You can't hide nothing from kids no more. You can't pretend like kids don't know. Google has messed everything up. Okay? You go on Google, get anything you want. So you can't pretend like
who the speakers are? Look in the programs.
Yes, yeah, right here. I got it right here.
Okay,
so here's a real image of a clip of what teenage pregnancy sort of look like. This is very rough. Very rough. So I'm giving you guys like.
Yeah, this is Prince speaking there.
Mm-hmm. I'll hold it.
Shit, babe, I was not in bed.
It's fine, just get back to bed.
Okay, I have to go. Babe, have you seen my belt? Babe, my belt? Are you kidding me right now? You just woke up and the first thing you're doing is getting high?
First time I checked.
Babe, you just woke up and the first thing you're doing is getting high?
First time I checked, you ain't my father.
Listen, Claire, that's my baby in there too, so stop smoking all the fucking time.
Shut the hell up. It's my body. Remember that.
It's not just about you anymore, okay? So it's time to start thinking about someone else and stop being so selfish.
Yo, fuck you!
Fuck me? I've given up everything for you and this baby. Everything. And I'm asking you to do one thing for the health of our child, and you can't.
I agreed to have this baby, and that is sacrifice enough. So stop saying that I'm just giving up one thing. My body is messed up. My whole life is messed up.
And mine isn't. This is what I'm talking about. You are so fucking selfish. It's either never enough for you or not what you expect.
What the hell's going on here? What's up with this bullshit fighting every day?
I'm sorry, Dee. I got carried away. I'm late for work anyway. See you guys later.
I don't get it. You trying to drive him away?
I got that.
Thanks for the advice. Oh no, it's not advice. Trust me, I don't want to see you alone. You think your situation is bad now? Just wait until that's really leaves. Think about that shit.
Thank you.
So in a nutshell, that was one clip. The movie really stresses about health. She's smoking and drinking on top of the baby. She's smoking and drinking about the baby. She's doing all types of stuff. And he's a middle-class kid that loves to play.
Like
Paper
driving
tiger
over the
too.
tab
Yeah,
with the camera just on the windshield of the car.
What's the
She's giving us some money.
Well,
telling us
I'm
about
suing
every
Manhattan
station
Neighborhood
she's sued for not
Network.
airing her show.
Well, it may go to the Supreme Court. We'll find out on Tuesday. Yeah, with Kavanaugh. They First Amendment issue.
It was a First Amendment, it didn't have to go to the Southern District, it didn't have to go to the Court of Appeals.
Does anybody want to talk or ask questions about it?
Well, but we're not all that optimistic if it goes to the Supreme
Oh,
Court.
no, I'll tell you right now, I mean,
They're-
the courts are
I think
entirely
that
run by a machine.
I think the cable companies are now behind it. The Koch brothers, the Cato Institute, it gave them a amicus brief in support of MNN and the fact that what they're saying is that public access is not a public forum. Like, if it isn't, what is it?
It's not only a public forum, it's a traditional public forum, and it's a legal public forum. Title 47
Can I sit at the Legends table?
Code says that we are
You burned it.
an electronic soap opera. You can't get more public forums.
Sorry we missed you at Rick. That
That's
was a nice
what
tour.
MNN is saying.
You enjoyed it?
I like your I
Very
have a
impressive.
camera similar to that. I like your camera. I
What
want
have you
to
been up
do
to?
an interview with you.
Traveling a lot?
There's a little less noise. I have to go put some more quarters in my car, move it somewhere. So, but we'll be here this afternoon for lunch.
Yeah, I will be leaving here at 4.
Okay, great.
Hey, Glendora, how you doing?
Randall
And
was
Dee Dee Howard.
terrific, wasn't she? Randall was so good.
I missed part of it.
Huh?
I missed her part.
Randall.
How you been?
Well, then you're fine. Tell me what you're up to.
Randall.
Oh, same old thing. Working at the sanctuary and doing the best we can. I see you've been having your vegan meals there in Nassau. You enjoying living there?
Yep. This is my helper, Gregory Washburn.
Yeah, I remember Greg from when you came over to the sanctuary. I think you came to the sanctuary.
Yeah, I did. So, yeah.
So how's it going?
Yeah, good, you know.
How's your wife and daughter?
You know, hanging in there.
How's your poodle?
The poodle is hanging in there. The poodle is getting a little long in the tooth.
Are you still up at that farm?
Yeah.
And how's it coming?
We're not there very much.
You're not there?
We're there, but not very much. We sleep there. Pretty busy.
You don't have time to fix it up.
Not really.
Beautiful spot.
It's nice.
Now, do you have a telephone number that Vicky will answer?
That Vicky will answer? No.
Yeah. Do you have a way of getting in touch with her?
I see her every now and then. Should I tell her to call you?
Do you have an email or anything?
Whatever you have for her is still the same.
It's no good. She just does not answer the phone.
I don't know.
You have no way to get in touch with her?
Well, I just have the same information you have. I'll send you what I have. She has 2 kids now, you know, so maybe
Yeah.
she just.
Yes, right.
I don't know.
But I was her kid before that.
Oh. Shay Ray was her kid before that.
Yeah.
Their lab, Shay Ray was their kid before that. You know, Shay Ray's not taking it well. Are you still doing Access?
What?
You still doing Access programming?
Oh, don't you know?
No.
The longest running public access show in the world, 47 years.
Well, I didn't know if you were still doing it. I thought when you retired to Nassau.
11,960 shows.
No.
And 72 stations on the Glendora Public Access
Nice.
Television
Are you on
Network.
Brick?
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 Oh, sure. Oh, is that Anthony? Hi, my love. Oh, am I glad to see you.
I'm glad to see you too.
See you. And you know my friend?
Yeah, I've been knowing him for 20 years.
And of course you know Gregory.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah.
Oh, Anthony, I'm so glad to see you.
Yeah, I heard you were here. I heard you were raising a ruckus.
Tell him about your alternative media center.
Oh, he knows about it.
Yeah. In fact, I thought Glendora lived here.
Oh, it's connected?
No, I thought she actually lived in Albany.
It's not far, Albany area, you know. What is it, 20 miles from Albany or something like that? If that. Out in the country a little ways. Yeah. Nice little walk
It's a
from the
big
city.
stretch, is Albany to Schenectady.
Yeah,
That's a long way.
That's 18 miles. It's not very
Oh,
It feels far.
we're leaving tonight at 5?
Huh?
We're going to leave tonight at 5?
I'm going to try it. Got a good model there.
You have a what?
A good model copy.
A model?
Yeah. To live to 95.
Oh.
Glendora, excuse me, I'll be back in give me a couple of minutes. I'll be right back here.
Yes, okay, honey.
Got the cameras here running.
Oh, your camera's running?
Video formats.
Yep.
Just had to raise people's awareness of why they shouldn't be using many DV cam tapes. It's just,
Yep.
We'd love to get a picture with you and put it up on our billboard. Because we still air you. We're LMC TV. Do you remember you come to see us a bunch of times? Larchmont and Marinette Community Television, yes. Sharon, she has to go. Can you come here for 1 second, please?
Sharon has to go?
Yeah, Sharon. Come here, Sharon. We want to get a picture.
How are you?
When you came in, the hat out of the corner of my eye, I saw it. I knew it was you. Right.
No jokes today?
Just smile.
Sure. Glendora, thank you. Who else is here too?
We will. Just
Matt.
smile right here.
Me
That's Sibylla and Matt. Yes.
Are you going? Are you leaving today?
I'm actually.
She has to do a presentation. So she's going to
to
snap a picture of us.
Yes.
So just smile.
All right.
Hey, you back?
Aww. Yeah, take it from that angle. Look that way, Sharon. Yeah, one more.
Oh. Nice. How's that?
Was it cute?
Perfect. Do you remember Tony Riddle?
Oh, it's so good to meet you in person.
She's come before. You haven't met
Hello,
her?
how are you? No, I only talked to her on the phone.
Oh, you only talked to her on the phone.
What, dear?
No, I was telling her I only talked to you on the phone when you called.
Yeah, I love it. And I love hearing her laugh.
You've popped up at the studio quite a few times, and now we have a new one that you should come check out. We just built it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we moved.
Oh, where?
We're all in the building where you send your videos now. We're all in the same building.
Mamaroneck Town Center.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
And LH gone?
Yeah. Gone.
Yep. He retired.
Yeah.
You know, people actually do that, Glendora. I know you don't know it.
That was good, Christina.
So the Italian man was asked, why do you always drink wine instead of water? And he said, I have an iron constitution and water would rust it.
You better tell that to your mom.
You know, I'm all Italian, so that's a great one.
It's so good to see you.
Oh, bless
you. Look great.
Mama. Yeah, you really look great. You haven't changed in 20 years.
You do wonderful work, and thank you for helping all of us.
Well, you're welcome to stop
you.
by any time to see the new studio.
It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for your presentation.
Oh, thank you. She has the passion we all need, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
When you love something, you have that passion.
Well, it is hard when you hang out, actually. I mean, it is so hard.
That was from Larchmont and Marinette.
Oh, you too?
And they have a new TV studio, and something about their leaving now. And something about interviewing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that do
Where are you?
I'm over by the rocks. But yeah.
You know, I made a film earlier on at the sanctuary. I made a film we were working with the church across the street. It's called A Child Having a Child. It was about a 13
Dee Dee Halleck came. And
she went and took that film.
the man who runs the Alternative Media Center came.
And it told people, go get birth control. You're not going to stop once you start, you know. Yeah. And it was incredible because just watching how she used that film, you know, because people aren't the ones. Those resources. Yeah. But when you have something running, it was very, very powerful.
Are you back?
Yes, yeah.
That was from Mamaroneck. Those people were from LMC. You remember LMC?
Oh, yeah.
And Dee Dee Halleck is suing Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. And she said she thinks the case is going to the Supreme Court of the United States.
Oh, really?
I told her it should have gone there originally because it's a